Once in a lullaby, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Someday wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dream that you dare to, oh why can't I? Oh, someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like a lemon drop, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. The dream that you did to, why, oh why can't I?
Beautiful song. On behalf of the Sarmento family, we'd like to thank everyone that came to the celebration of life. Again, I always say I don't do funerals. I like to do celebrations of life, to look at his life and everything that he did. I mean, there's more pictures back there. And then obviously daughters, sons, granddaughters, grandsons. I mean, out of Charles, what do we got here? You know, that's a life. It's pretty awesome to see. We know that everyone passes. You know, it's a sad, just a part of life. And I just pray again, you know, that people understand that it's a part of life. But through that, we need to remember the life that we had with them, the time that we had with them, and that's important. So going on to Charles Jerry Sarmento, was born on May 14, 1933, and was a loving grandfather, a great-grandfather, and it has passed away peacefully at the age of 89. Going back to what I said, surrounded by loved ones, on June 13, 22, in Yreka, California. On May 14th, 1933, Jerry was born to Natalie Abreu and William Correa Sarmento in Kaloa, is that right? Kauai. He spent his young years in Kauai, raised by his grandmother, boar hunting. I'm actually going to go there. I might have to try that. Try to do it Ted Nugent style, I'm thinking.
And maybe you need to meet one of my uncles over there.
Well, not every day you get to wear a loincloth and jump out of a tree at night. I wish I could have asked him if that's what he ever did. Probably get sick of just shooting the same old pigs over and over. Let's get this thing a little more exciting every time we go out. I would. exploring the island and working on the family's dairy farm. In his adolescence, he moved to the Bay Area to be with his mother. Jerry served in the U.S. Army in 49 to 57, stationed in Oklahoma, Texas, and Nevada. And there's his suit jacket and his hat. He was a rifleman, earning a sharpshooter level. Sorry for hunting all those boars. I had to get practice around here. We use squirrels and black-tailed deer. Going on, Jerry and Sharon Brazil married in 1968 in Grants Pass, Oregon. They moved to California for a few years and made a memorable trip back home in '76. They raised 5 wonderful children: Chuck, Christine, Vicky, Eric, and Leilani, and were usually found spending quality time with family. In 2006, Jerry became a devoted husband to Dorothy Hagen, marrying in Brookings, Oregon. Over the years, he worked various jobs to include millwork, BLM, wildland firefighter. He was an avid sports fan. And as I can see, he's a fan of the Raiders, the Giants, and the Cal Bears. He loved westerns and was a pro at the plush toy claw machine. Yeah, those things are rigged, I'm telling you. Yeah, most of the time my kids would want to play that, and I said, I'll just go buy you that toy. Buy you 2 of them. His joy was catching up with his children, hearing what his grandchildren were up to, and taking trips. Many people experience his sweet demeanor, easygoing nature, telling jokes, and sometimes that brutal honesty. You know, in the Word it says iron sharpens iron. And sometimes you got to strike the iron to let people self-reflect. And in that, if they're honest with themselves, they'll change their life for the better. And again, I could actually preach about that, but I won't. I'll save it. So Jerry was predeceased by his parents, his brother John Gordon, Sormento, grandson Caden Gandy. He's survived by his sister Laverne, 5 children, 9 of his grandchildren, Kayla, Kira, Kobe, Kristen, Alexis, Cole, Porter, Kendall, and Hunter, and 2 great-grandchildren, Cash and Ace. So, I mean, you look at that, it's like he had a pretty good life. That's a good thing. And here we're going to take a little time, if anyone wants to share, a small enough church, you'll speak loud. If I have to get something, I can, but then I'm going to turn it on full blast. So if anyone wants to share, now would be the time. And again, I like to poke and prod because it's not every day we get to meet like this. And you can see how he had such a wonderful life, and you got to have something to share, even that brutal honesty part. There you go.
That's right.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Good.
So I remember when I was a little kid and first remember my parents to this day when we lived in Maple, California. This is cesspool nowadays. But I remember him taking me to the park when I was very little. And I remember that. Like, he'd be off on a Saturday and we'd go there. And then I see why he did that because when I was like 4 or 5 years old, I was a Raider fan. How did that happen? Sitting in front of the TV and we'd watch Raider games. And then also too, when we were down in Los Angeles, we would go to Dodger Giant games. I did keep that team. I didn't keep the Raiders for very long. I think once I realized, oh, I can pick my own team. So, yeah, those were pretty good moments. And then we moved to Oregon. Grants Pass. Oh, actually we lived in Merlin on my grandma's old property. That was a fun place. We had this big old pond. Now, one thing about my dad, he always worked, but it seemed like we were very poor. You know, all the time. You know, not the richest people in the town or anything like that. You know, and like this time when we used to have this big, huge brown station wagon, SUV the other day, right? So, Keith, remember that? I remember Keith, big old trucks. We had the station wagon. Anyways, I would like to sit in the way back and just lay down and put my head down so nobody would see me. I can't stand that brown piece of junk. And then one time we were driving through town, and my mom goes, "Hey, Jerry, there's some of Chuck's friends in the corner." And my dad goes, "Hey, hey." You know, he's always a jokester, right? Chuck's down in the back. He's all embarrassed. I'm driving this car, right? And yeah, it was. And I would just stay down. You guys should have said that. So I thought it was kind of fun. And then I remember when I was like a freshman in high school, I was starting at Grants Pass. I was getting ready for freshman football season. We went to Hodges to get some football cleats. If you don't know what Hodges is the store that was at Grants Pass High School for many years. Danny, did you ever go get maple bars there? So I wanted to. We went in, looked around for shoes, and a couple of my friends were there too, right? And I said, I don't know. And I wanted these pair of shoes. I was getting cleats and shoes. And it was about, I thought it was pretty good, 60, 70 bucks, right? He's like, nah. My dad's like, nah, that's too much. So he goes around and he finds cleats and shoes for like $7 a piece. You get a couple of these a piece. You know, start yelling at the store like why don't you come get these instead? But you know, he was always joking around, jokester. So he always loved to joke. I mean, it was cool being around him all these years and stuff. So just the funny part is when he got older and we got with Megan, we started harassing him. You know, joking back with him. But he was, you know, he was like that. Oh yeah, and I'll never forget to, every time we watched Monday Night Football, we went to Wilson Lane to my grandfather's house. Every single Monday. We would go watch every single Monday Night Football game with my grandfather, Danny, Art until he moved out, Harold. And those were great times going up there to watch games every single night. It was a blast. What else? I never write nothing down, so sometimes I forget things. So I have to go back. But he worked a lot of different jobs. You know, he worked at BLM. He worked maintaining or putting that river trail. He was in on that years ago down the Laurel Road. And he told me a story once that they got snowed in. And they had to have a helicopter come get them and take them out of there. And for some reason, I didn't believe that story. But and then later on, I was a park ranger at Joseph Stewart a few years ago. And my boss happened to work with my dad for BLM back in the 70s, right? And so I go, hey, do you remember this time where you guys were snowed in down on the lower road and you had the helicopter out of there? And he said, yep, that happened. So then I had to believe it. And then for years and years, I got all these stories about he would tell us that he would walk to school and took, you know, he lived in Hawaii. He'd walk to school over these rolling mountains barefooted 4 miles a day. And I didn't believe that one either. trust me, I didn't. I was like, nah, that's not all bullshit on that. And sure enough, I go visit Hawaii to our family's property area, and then there's all these rolling hills, and you can easily walk barefooted because there's no rocks or anything like that. I'm like, okay, I'll do it now. So I thought that was kind of cool too. But yeah, I'll probably just end it now because I can see that everybody's hot. I can keep going on forever. And that's it about time. Yeah, so good. So anyways, thanks for listening to me. And what's going to be next? Cole?
Yeah.
You want to tell a couple stories? Come on.
Yeah.